What's up? This is Nick, head coach of the Mount Silver Scyther, and I'm doing commentary for my Week 6 battle against Evan of the Saffron City Sneasels. So this week, I was going to try something different than I've done in the past. So usually, I try and do some type of extra drill, sweep, or something. But this week, since I knew he had Ditto, I didn't want to do any type of setup sweep. So instead, I tried a Sunny Day Arcanine for my win con, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, he brought out his Greninja on the start, and I brought out Sableye, and then he went for the U-turn and did a bunch of damage. So I was assuming this thing was like choice banded since it U-turned and was hitting so hard. So I went for the foul play, hoping to hit it with some hard damage if it tried to kill me on the first turn. And instead it hits the Mudsdale and kicks off his stamina, but I didn't really care all that much because I was like, okay, if he stays in this turn, he's getting burned, which is exactly what happened, because I should have realized at this point, I should have known, I should have been like, okay, either this Mudsdale is just a stone setter and really nothing else, or Evan does not care about status. So, clearly, he lets it get burned. So, like I said, at that point, I was kind of like, when I was doing the battle, I was like, oh, okay, sweet, Mudsdale's burned. This thing was a big fear of mine because it hits really hard. So I was like, okay, burn, awesome. So which for this, I was like, okay, no matter what he's got, I can bring Echo in basically for free and do whatever I need to. And then I set up my Misty Surge, so I did get a status and then set up the Misty Surge. So that's kind of how I like to play things, is I control when status happens. But he does bring in Eraserhead, which I was like, ah, shit. Because I knew this thing, it had to have Gunk Shot. It literally had to have Gunk Shot. There's nothing else it could have had to deal with Tapu Fini. If it didn't have Gunk Shot, it dies to Tapu Fini easily. So expecting the Gunk Shot, I bring in Pop-Tart, just because I know it's immune to the poison. But he does go for the U-turn again, which further solidified my belief that it was probably choice banded, just because why else would he keep doing U-turns? Like, I know he's probably trying to fish out things and see what I'm thinking. But then now he brings on Handmaiden, which is his Ditto, which is the reason why I did not bring a setup Excadrill. This is an Assault Vest Excadrill, just because I was like, I don't want to have to deal with my own +2 choice Scarfed Excadrill. I didn't want to have to deal with that. So I bring in Donphan because I'm like, I know Donphan can take at least one hit from anything that he might try and throw out with my Excadrill. And it does a lot more than I was expecting, but it also made sense because this Donphan was built with a specific sentence in mind. So you see it uses Endure right here, and it goes for the Earthquake, which is going to bring me down to 1 HP. And then what the purpose of this Donphan was is to be a setup sweep stopper. So as you can see, he eats a Custap Berry there, which gives him a priority move for the Endeavor. So this was kind of a Charizard stopper, because if he was going to bring Charizard, I was like, okay, I really can't tank hits from that thing well enough once it gets to +1, so I'm just going to bring something that I know can tank a hit, and then can bring it down to 1 HP. So Donphan does fall, which sucks because I didn't get Stealth Rock set up, so I probably should have sacked somebody. Oh, no, that wouldn't have worked. So yeah, with those Stealth Rocks up, it gives me a problem. So yeah, now here, I'm assuming he's probably going to switch. And he does, and he brings in Eraserhead. So I went for the burn, because no, I didn't go for the burn. I went for the recover. Because, yeah, Sableye needed as much health because he was my setup for the Sun. I shouldn't have had leftovers on him, see. So I set up the Sunny Day here because I'm like, okay, if he's going to go for an attack that's going to kill me, it's going to need to be water. And I was thinking like a Z Hydro Pump would have been enough to kill me. But it does show that he has Waterfall, which was interesting. So he did go for a full physical set, but that damage is halved because of the Sun that I set up. And one of my mistakes this week is I gave Ticklefinger leftovers where I should have just given him the Heat Rock. So that was one of my issues this week, is I built my team to deal with too many specific things on Evan's team. I didn't build the team to support my Arcanine setup. So that was the issue that I had this week, is I should have had a Heat Rock on Sableye, especially since I was running Prankster Recover. There's no reason I should have had leftovers. I should have just had the Heat Rock to keep as much sun up as possible, which would have helped me. But that was one of the mistakes I made. And then this turn, I know Gardevoir's gonna throw down a Moonblast, so I bring in My Assault Vest Pop-Tart resists it, plus Assault Vest, it's not going to do all that much damage, and I know I can get an easy KO in one hit, like no problem. Like, there was the chance of it having Focus Blast, but I don't think Evan really needed to count on that low accuracy. He could have just gone for whatever he wanted. And he brings in Davy Jones, which I made a mistake here because I was like, well, I knew he had a Ghost type, but I still went for the Rapid Spin. So what I should have gone for there would have been, I should have just gone for the obvious Iron Head, and it probably would have done some nice damage to him. But then here, I feel bad because, sorry Beedrill, I keep just like wasting you. And even though I only take neutral damage from this Earthquake, Beedrill's like 40 physical defense or something is not enough to tank the hit. Especially because he might have been Choice Banded. I'm not sure. So here I bring in Tickle Finger. I'm like, okay, we're going to try and hit him for hard damage. I know I should be able to take any hit, or he'll just switch out because he doesn't want to get burned. So he's going to bring in the Gardevoir again. And I just go for a Recover because I know he can kill me easily. Like, this wasn't a more specially invested Sableye, but I know one of those is just going to kill me. It just is. So this is one of those things where, like, he just had a good counter for me because I knew, sure, I could use Prankster to outspeed it, to burn it, or taunt it, maybe? But I didn't have taunt this week, but it was just, there wasn't much I could do. And I get my Misty Surge set back up, which at this point really isn't all that important. And he does go for the Moonblast, which neutral damage onto also Assault Vested Tapu Fini, even though it still did a lot of damage. And he withdraws. And this is where I think I go for whatever that move is called that takes 50% of their health. Oh no, I did go for the knockoff, yeah. Because I wanted to get rid of whatever item Gardevoir had. And I'm guessing he had, yeah, the Colbur Berry. Okay, that is what it is. So, I'm not sure who he was expecting to hit it with Dark-type moves. Maybe a knockoff from Beedrill is what he was expecting. But yeah, Power Whip. I was hoping it would miss. I was expecting it, but I was hoping it would miss, but it didn't, and down goes Fini. So now I can bring in Tickle Finger, well, almost full health. But I know I can take any hit. And I went with, I initially had knockoff on Sableye, but then I was like, if I'm going to have to go up against Charizard or a physical Greninja, I want to be able to hit them as hard as possible. So that's why I had I had Foul Play on him instead of knockoff. And at this point, I'm kind of realizing I am on the losing end of this battle, so I'm like, screw it. I gotta set up my Sun and hope that I can do something with Arcanine at this point. And then Stones Dig in. And he goes for Heal Bell, which sucks. I should have seen that coming. Like, I should have known, with as much as he wasn't avoiding getting burned, I should have known that he had Heal Bell on his Gardevoir. So here, I should have gone for, I went for the OKO move. I should have gone for an Earthquake, because I don't think he actually had Fluffy on this. So, like, you can see that does almost 50% damage. And I'm like, oh shit. That almost did half of his health. If I'd gone for Earthquake, which I go for this turn, if I'd gone for Earthquake that last turn, I would have been able to kill this, because it takes him so low red there. 2 of those definitely would have killed him. And then he can Drain Punch back up to full. So yeah, that was something where it was kind of the mistake on my part, is just I should have known that he was going to switch, and I should have gone for the bigger damage move, even though I was kind of still thinking that he was going to bring in his Delmise, Davy Jones. And I was like, Iron Head will do neutral damage, whereas Earth Kick would be resisted, but he was already below half, so I should have just gone for the Earthquake, because it should have been enough to kill him. And now I finally bring in Hotodogo. I've got like 2 turns of Sun, and he withdraws, and I did make the right predict here. I was like, he could bring in Davy Jones to a Solar Beam, but I think that this does neutral to, I was expecting more the Greninja to come in to take the fire attack. So I was hoping I could kill Greninja, which that definitely would have helped me out a whole lot. But that Solar Beam goes up, takes down Budweiser with 1 easy shot. That was an easy OKO, even if he had no damage on him. So now he can sound out Eraserhead, and really not much I can do. I was hoping, so here I switch into Tickle Finger. I was hoping that I might be able to tank whatever hit he's about to throw out. And then, because I think the sun has faded. Yeah, the sun is faded now. So I was hoping that I could tank this hit. I knew I could, like, I knew a Z Hydro Pump one-shotted Sableye from full health, but I wasn't sure what a Z Waterfall would do, which is obviously what this is. But I think it did just enough to pick up the KO, because I was hoping that maybe I could just get the sun up, and then the next turn I would have sun, I would resist his water, and I could start just throwing down solar beams, which would do a shitload against his team. But yeah, and now I'm at half health. Even if I had the sun up, I think I would have survived. If the sun was up after the Intimidate, I'm pretty sure I would have survived a waterfall. And so here I just go for some damage, because I was like, I don't know, I know I can't use a solar beam. So like I said, I think if I had had Heat Rock on Sableye, I would have stood a better chance. Like, that's one change I could have made that would have given me a better chance at winning. Not a guarantee, but it definitely would have given me a much better chance at being able to keep my sun up longer and actually use the sun setting, or the sun sweeping Arcan. Well, not really sweeping. He was more there to deal with specific things, but that was a battle. Didn't go too well for me. I planned too specifically for his team and not broadly like I have in my previous battles. And I'm sorry to Beedrill again, because I keep abusing Beedrill by bringing Beedrill in to just get killed by things. So I'm sorry, Beedrill. Lancelot, I'll try harder. Next week, I play Amber of the basic Bees. So let's see how that stall match goes with her. I think I've got a plan to face her, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, bye.